balancing your hormones, aligning your authentic health, and getting rid of the belly fat once and for all. We are going to focus on 3 of them right here, right now. I'm going to show you the steps to do it, and you literally can start doing it today. All right. So the easiest way in the world that's very accurate to find out if your hormones are aligned. And one habit that you can shift and start doing that's going to start healing your hormones, starting with your gut microbiome. And if gut microbiome sounds fancy, don't let the word fool you. This is a very important part of your hormonal balance. And food. Let's use it as medicine and fuel. I'll show you how, what, and when to eat. That we can heal your hormones. But I'm going to do a little bonus for you all today. So I'm glad you made it. All right. You might be able to relate to Stacy. Maybe she doesn't look like you, but maybe her situation's similar. She was doing everything right. She'd done intermittent fasting, counting her calories, counting her macros, cutting out all sweets, drinking lots of water, no junk food, doing everything right. And she was so frustrated. In fact, she was hopeless. She said, nothing works. My body just will not burn fat anymore. I can't lose it no matter what I do. And she was doing a lot. 9 months later, she looked in the mirror, same body, same face, same weight on the scale. It was her hormones. And intuitively, she sort of knew that. Her doctor said her blood work was fine. So she's like, I don't know. But she intuitively knew it was her hormones. She knew it the whole time. When we worked together, things changed. But she had to make a decision to stop doing and stop thinking the way so many of us think, that it's just calories in, calories out, and how much you exercise, how much you eat, how much you don't eat. There's other components. And when we focused on balancing our hormones first and got out of the diet mindset and the workout all the time mindset, everything changed. Much happier, much leaner, and much healthier. And now she's able to maintain this happily on her own. So that's a big difference in Stacy. And she's still in our group. You can chat with her. She's a real person. And she's really courageous because she agreed to let me share this. Just the belly fat goes away. Now, maybe you don't look like Stacy, but you have the same issue she did if the belly fat won't go away. It is not estrogen going down. It is not testosterone going down that's causing the belly fat. That just made it more obvious. Because those hormones, especially for women, estrogen is like your neurogenetic armor. It helps the weight stay off. It helps you feel good and energetic. But when it starts going down in your 40s or 50s, well, then it becomes very obvious that the other hormones aren't aligned. When you go to sleep, insulin goes down because when you don't eat any food, insulin goes down. This opens the window for something called metabolic shifting. When insulin is down, your body starts going into fat storage mode. But most of us never get out of this area. And if we don't get out of this area, we never get into fat burning. It's actually right around 16 hours of not eating that your body starts burning fat. Now, what's that mean? Your first task to heal your hormones and lose the belly fat is to learn how to shift again. And what do I mean by shift? When you get to a certain phase, insulin's all the way down and glucagon and growth hormone come out. Those are the hormones that heal. Glucagon, you may have heard of it if you've heard of semaglutide or you've heard of Ozempic. Those are called GLP-1s, glucagon-like peptide 1s. So it's an injection that makes you feel full, and so you eat less. And some people lose weight, some people don't. Some people lose a little, and then they stop. Here's why. what the GLP-1s do, Ozempic and others, because they're all GLP-1s. They just have different labeling and different names. What they do is it does make your body feel less hungry, but it decreases glucagon and increases insulin. So it's doing the opposite of what we want it to do hormonally. Every hormone matters, but no hormone works alone. They all work together. And you have lots of hormones, and your hormones and your neurochemicals, neurotransmitters, which are sort of like hormones, but for your brain, they work together to control your metabolism, your energy, your libido, and your weight. So, what does it mean to shift? Now, you have two fuel tanks. Your body's like a hybrid car. Like a hybrid car either runs on gas or electricity. Your body either runs on glucose, which is a fancy word for sugar, because all the food we eat gets converted into sugar or glucose. Same thing. So if you hear the word sugar, it means glucose, sucrose, fructose. There's lots of different words for it, but the sugar our body uses is glucose. So time for our first quiz. What is the other energy tank? There's only two types of energy our body can run on. Our body's muscles, our organs, and our brain. It's either gonna be sugar, aka glucose, or you have it in your body. Your body's made out of it. Type in the chat if you know it. Hey, Brenda, I see you just joined us. Thank you and welcome. Who knows it? Someone just go for it. Oh, fat. Paula nailed it. It is absolutely right. It's your body fat. Our body is designed to either run on glucose from the food we ate or fat. And now when we're running on glucose, insulin's running the show. But when we run on fat, glucagon takes over the metabolism. We're not shifting to this fuel tank. That's why we have the extra weight. That's why we have the extra body fat. Now, when we have glucagon in our system, we're burning fat. And after a while, here's where the magic happens. You are releasing human growth hormone. And when you release human growth hormone into your system, you not only are releasing the fastest fat burning hormone you have, but you're also releasing a fountain of youth hormone. It makes you feel younger. It makes you feel more energetic. It heals other cells in your body. And it helps you have that vitality that you had in your 20s or 30s. So when I work with someone, I have them release human growth hormone either once a week, once a month, some people twice a week, depending on their situation. But when you learn to shift, it's called intermittent hormone shifting, metabolic shifting. There's lots of words for it. When you learn to shift, you turn your fat burning hormones back on. And women, you probably already know that when you reach a certain age, your estrogen goes down, your metabolism hormones. Well, the only thing that happens because of age is estrogen goes down. And let's go here. A lot of people don't realize that during perimenopause and menopause, well, I would say most people do realize that when you get into your 40s or 50s and you hit perimenopause and then menopause and postmenopause, the ovaries go into retirement. That means they're no longer making estrogen. And eventually they stop altogether. But another gland in your body, your adrenal gland, will be making estrogen happily ever after. So your body's always going to make estrogen. It never stops. It's just a different gland doing it. Now, here's the issue. The same gland that makes estrogen for you now is the same gland that makes cortisol, your stress hormone. Your adrenal gland, if it's fatigued, you have metabolic syndrome, it's not going to produce estrogen like it used to. But when you release growth hormone, and when you balance the other metabolism hormones, that changes. So your weight is because of your hormone balance and vice versa. If your hormones are not balanced, your weight will not return to its normal, authentic balance set point. Now, there's lots of little details that goes around hormone balancing and weight loss. But let's talk about you. Like, why are you stuck? How did this happen? And it is because of your metabolism hormones. Your emotional hormones also will keep you stuck, and your sex hormones. And if you went to the doctor and your doctor said, hey, your hormones are fine, your blood work looks fine, just exercise more and eat less. I would say 9 out of the 10 women I talk to, their doctor says something to that nature. Or the doctor puts them on HRTs because estrogen's so low or progesterone's so low. This will not solve the belly fat problem. This will not take the weight off. I repeat, more estrogen, more progesterone will not take the weight off. And your doctor's not a bad doctor. They're just using the old textbooks. And when they go back to school and get their in-service where they're retrained, they're getting their services and their training from pharmaceutical companies, which are teaching them the right medication to prescribe. That way they can do their job and get you the right medication and get you on your way. This is not a medication issue. This is a hormonal balance issue. And adding more medicine to it does not usually solve the problem. It's a Band-Aid. It covers up the symptoms for a while, but it does not solve it. I want to help you get to the root cause, which is your hormonal balance. And if you're wondering how did this happen, why does that woman across the street not have a belly? Why isn't she not overweight? And why am I? Somewhere from your early childhood to now, your hormones got out of alignment. And when you overeat, it messes up your hormones. When you diet, yo-yo dieting, if you lose weight, gain weight, messes up your hormones. Antibiotics, traumatic events in your life, undersleeping. Sometimes your hormones get out of whack after a pregnancy and they never get rebalanced. Now, the question I want you to ask, instead of why me, how did this happen to me, is what now? What can you do now? And for women, you have it tougher than men. Us men, we have a 24-hour hormonal cycle, and testosterone's really the one we need to worry about and focus on. But with women, you have a 28-day hormonal cycle. Even after menopause, you still have a hormonal cycle. And this will impact when, how, and what you do things. But something occurred, or a combination of things occurred, to throw your hormone alignment off of balance. And now we get to do something about it. So when your hormones are healthy, you will return to your authentic weight. When your weight is healthy, you can tell that your hormones are aligned. So the first thing I'll teach you is the best way to know if your hormones are aligned. And you don't have to get blood work done. You don't have to get the Dutch test done. This is a pyramid of all the different things we can do to align your hormones. We're going to focus on this one, which I talked about already. This one, which is your gut microbiome health, and some daily habits. All right. First thing is your belly line. It's right above your navel, right below your rib cage. So it's not necessarily your waist, but it's where the visceral fat shows up. If your belly line is bigger than it needs to be, you have visceral fat. And visceral fat is an indication that you have a hormonal imbalance. So visceral fat's different. Like the subcutaneous fat, the stuff we have below our arms, I think they call it chicken wings, the fat we have at our waistline that hangs below our belt, the other fat around our thighs, sometimes rubbed together, that's all called subcutaneous fat. We don't like it. It's not fun. We'd like to get rid of that too. But the difference with visceral fat, it exists around your organs and it's active. Visceral fat is releasing harmful hormone components into your body all day long. If you don't have visceral fat, you will not have a hormone issue. When your hormones are aligned, the visceral fat goes away. So just measuring your belly line and watching it go down will tell you if your hormones are getting back into alignment. That's all you need to know. You don't need to get too fancy with it. So start measuring your belly line, measure it each week, and if it goes down, you will know that you are doing the right things to align your hormones. You have something called your gut microbiome. Your gut microbiome is the area, and I believe I have a little slide on this. Yes, it is the bacteria, the billions of microbacteria, very, very small bacteria that exist in your stomach and your intestines. These are hormone related. And when they're unhealthy and not balanced, you will not be able to balance your hormones, digest food right. You'll experience a lot of digestion issues. You'll experience inflammation, not just in your belly, but throughout your body. And it's one of the big reasons for your belly fat. So this one habit, if you start doing the morning mojo every morning, and the morning mojo is part of the morning routine I give you, whether I work with you one-on-one or you're doing one of my free things, I always give a morning ritual. Because if you start every day with your morning mojo, and that's apple cider vinegar and water, 20 ounces of water, apple cider vinegar. You can add the lemon if you want, but the ACV is the most important. Do this every day for 30 days. You will improve your gut microbiome, you will reduce inflammation, and you will start losing weight. At the very least, your belly size will go down. And if you're wondering, gosh, how can that one little thing make such a difference? Well, I wasn't a believer at first. It wasn't until I learned from some very top endocrinologists and other nutrition experts that I realized that it had way more benefits than I realized. In fact, I used to have a big fight with one of my friends who also does health and wellness, and we've been friends for over 20 years, and she was positive apple cider vinegar had massive benefits. And I said, no, people need to drink that. That's crazy. It's acidic, tastes horrible. No, she was right. The whole time she was right. And I just did not know it. But as science revealed, as more research is done around hormones, I realized it has an impact on your gut microbiome and heals your hormones. Now, there are lots of benefits to apple cider vinegar, but the ones we really care about is your gut health, the weight management, the prebiotic properties, the anti-inflammatory properties. It's going to help blood sugar regulation. Now, if you can't drink a whole tablespoon at first, I definitely couldn't. I would put half a tablespoon into your water, drink the water, wash it down with 20 more ounces of water, and you are starting every day with a healing action. So hopefully you believe and you will start doing it, and you'll do it every day. Make it a habit. Your habits become your lifestyle. Your lifestyle will determine your authentic health. And some people say it takes 21 days to create a new habit. That's not true. In 1960, they realized that, okay, that it only takes 21 days. But since then, it's been completely debunked. And it takes some people longer. It takes some people shorter amounts of time. It all depends on how resistant you are, if you're the environment you're in, how willing you are to take action even when you don't feel like it. So long story short, everyone's different, and it depends on how you approach the habit, how important it is to you, and how aligned you are with this. And I'm encouraging you to do this one small thing, if you do nothing else, to help you start healing your gut microbiome, because when you heal your gut microbiome, you're healing your hormones. This is so easy that some people won't do it, but trust and believe it will work. Karen, I'll definitely answer your question at the end. I'm gonna answer all the questions, which is a good one. I'll answer it right now, actually. I take the apple cider. Wait, watch this. I have it right here. I take my apple cider vinegar. Make sure it has 0 calories. I do this same habit every single day. Apple cider vinegar. I get it at Costco because it's the best deal and it's really good. I put a tablespoon in a glass of water this small, and then I fill the rest up with medium temperature water, and I drink it. Sometimes I just drink it and it's one drink. Sometimes I take two. And then I'll drink 20 ounces of water for hyperhydration right after that. So just these two things, adding the apple cider vinegar in the water is going to heal your gut microbiome, recover it, and help you start burning fat for energy because your hormones will align. Now, the thing about hormones is a lot of people talk about them and say, yes, I can help you heal your hormones. I can help you do this. But the thing about hormones is everything is connected. It's not together. It's not just one thing. So the intermittent hormone shifting I talked to you about, that's going to benefit you. Healing your gut microbiome will benefit you. But here is how I approach you losing the belly fat. Your belly fat is a symptom of not being at your authentic health. So one, we need to return to your hormonal balance your hormonal balance set point. And two, your body composition. So forget about losing weight. We want to lose fat. We want to lose the body fat and keep the body muscle. So fat is what's causing the issues. We have too much of it. It's not balanced. And muscle is going to help us. And then that's going to return us to our body weight balance set point. You were born with authentic health. Every person was. But when hormones got out of alignment, other factors of life happened. New, unfortunately, I would say destructive almost, default programs started occurring that worked against you. And that messes up your mental balance set point, your ability to function right here. When you're not able to move around like you used to, your energy. But when you return to your authentic health, you're able to return all of these back to your balance set point. Now, the one thing I will say is hormones are involved in every single one of these. So yes, the hormones really matter. And I've been doing this for over 26 years now, helping people transform their lives by reclaiming their authentic health. But it wasn't until the last 5 years that I realized how important hormones were. But now that I realized it, learned all about it, I won't go back. And I'm encouraging you to realize hormones matter and it's all connected. Now, here is what I would like you to at least contemplate. You are connected to a creative intelligence, a universal power. Some people call it the quantum field, some people call it the gods, some people call it the universe. And by the way, God for me is get over defining it. I believe every religion's right. That doesn't matter. What does matter is that you have all the intelligence, all the creative ability to heal that you need. It's just opening the passageway back up to what's always been there. And your hormones are directly related to that. So when you're able to tap in and connect with this creative intelligence, your authentic health is returning back to normal. And that's all we're doing. We are not going to rewrite any sort of health system. Like your body weight set point, we want to return your muscle set point to its normal balance and your body fat to its normal balance. We need some body fat. We need some muscle. And all of us have a different balance set point. Your hormones, we want to turn your fat burning back on. And we want to return you back to your hormonal balance set point. And there's lots of ways to do it. But for every one of you, you'll need to focus on certain things more than others at the beginning. because no one can focus on everything at once. But I'm going to go back. This is so important. You already have everything you need programmed and connected with you. This is your intuition. This is how you already knew it was your hormones, regardless of what the doctor said. This is your power that's been there all along to do the actions to return to your normal body weight and your hormonal balance. So I am a firm believer in the mind-body connection. Science proves it. I prove it. And my clients prove it as well. And you will prove it if you tap into this. And if you don't have any belief of anything besides your brain and your body, then just know that your brain was programmed initially with authentic health. Just somewhere along the lines, that program got covered up by new programs that actually aren't helping you now. So you can look at it from a completely physical level if you want. But the mind-body connection is absolutely true, especially when it comes to hormones and when it comes to you. All right, hormonal balance and then emotional balance set point. Almost every one of your hormones are involved in emotional expression, and your emotions impact your hormones, especially cortisol, the stress hormone, which is related to so many fight or flight feelings, rushing feelings, will stop fat burning. In fact, I'm going to show you a couple clients. Nikki was doing everything right, but she wasn't losing the weight. All we had to do was activate intermittent hormone shifting. She lost the weight, 28 days, lost more weight, and kept it off. Never needed to talk to me again. That's all she needed. Denise was different. She was trying to combine intermittent hormone shifting kind of with her own system and style. She was trying to intermix them. And so for the first month, she lost just a few pounds. But by week 5, she's down 15 because after a month of not making much progress, I asked her to commit to completely prioritizing her hormone health and her authentic health and forget everything about dieting and exercising the weight away. And when she agreed to do that and did it, the weight started coming off. My point here is every woman's different. Everyone needs a different starting point or a different focus point. But this is where we can bring in the stress hormone regulating system and neuroepigenetic alignment. Here's what I mean. Your daily habits, like the apple cider vinegar and your morning ritual, they will restore your activity balance set point. Knowing what habits are most important to you to do every day are going to heal your hormones fastest and return you back to your normal hormonal set point. Now, the point is you can't do everything at once. It's just people get overwhelmed, and identifying what matters most to you right now is how you're going to make the most benefits. Now, this is a lot of stuff. I mean, probably too much stuff. And these are all the components of balancing your hormones, losing the weight, and keeping it off for good. The mental balance set point, your emotional balance set point, your body weight set point, hormonal balance set point. There are lots of components. But you don't need to go join a gym. You don't need to go on another diet. Those are not going to balance your hormones. But some people need to start strength training a little earlier to increase their muscle mass. Everyone will need to start turning their fat-burning hormones back on day 1. Some people will need to focus on the mental balance set point a little sooner. Some people are having emotional balance set point, which is holding them back. All of these impact your hormones. It's all connected. And here's the good news. Imagine a table. If you move one leg on that table, the whole table moves. If you move one of these legs, it starts aligning your hormones. So regardless of which one you focus on first, it's going to have an overall benefit and impact. And that is what we want. All of it's returning you back to your authentic health. Remember, it's always been there. It just got lost in the shuffle. All right. Metabolic shifting. I talked to you a little bit about that already. Insulin, glucagon, and growth hormone. But this is your best friend. It is how you will lose the weight, and you'll notice it right away. And this is all about shifting from your sugar fuel tank to your fat fuel tank, and doing it often enough in the right way and for long enough that your body turns fat burning back on. Now, you've probably heard of intermittent fasting. I cannot say this enough. This is not intermittent fasting. It does involve postponing food, aka fasting. But you won't be hungry. Every person's different, and when you learn to shift, glucagon comes out and you're literally not hungry. But if the word fasting made you cringe and you right away said, I could never do that, I mean, it's just like talking about politics or God. People already have preconceived notions about it and subconscious beliefs. So instead of thinking of it as fasting, think of it as what Dr. Mindy Pelz, and I have her book right here, Fast Like a Girl, she calls it metabolic switching. Another scientific term is intermittent hormone shifting. You are postponing food not to lose weight, not to diet, not to cut calories. You're postponing food to heal your hormones. And it is the fastest, most effective way to do so. My favorite thing to call it is creating space. So instead of prioritizing weight loss, when you prioritize hormone balance, and that becomes a priority, weight loss just becomes one of the byproducts. So I encourage you, redefine your idea of fasting. And I, again, like to call it creating space. Creating space for your hormones to return to their authentic health, their authentic balance. Now, there are so many benefits of intermittent hormone shifting. Instead of me telling you them all, I'm going to tell you that it will help you lose the weight faster and better than anything else. And once you lose the weight, you keep it off because you're shifting your hormones as you go. Now, I enlarge this. The main benefits, it's going to increase insulin sensitivity. It's going to make it so insulin doesn't just store calories as fat. It's going to increase growth hormone production. And leptin and ghrelin, that's your hunger and satiety hormones. When you regulate those, it makes it so you have natural hunger awareness, hunger cues, and takes away the feeling of being hungry all the time. Cortisol regulation. This one's huge because cortisol shuts down fat burning. Now, you don't have to know every single thing, every single benefit. You just have to know that the sooner you start creating space through intermittent hormone shifting, the sooner you'll start burning the belly fat and balancing your hormones at the same time. That's the key. You're burning the belly fat and balancing hormones at the same time. And there are so many benefits that I believe in 10 years, this is how the whole world will be losing weight. Okay, I'm going to bring my attention to Leilani. Leilani is one of my favorite clients of all time. She has graduated. She is now a breakthrough mentor. It's awesome to see her progress. But she got stuck after she lost her first 20 pounds. And she was doing everything right. She was strength training. She loved it. She was doing the intermittent hormone shifting. But at about 20 pounds, she just stopped losing weight. And it was because of her emotional hormones. Neuroepigenetics combines neuroplasticity, which is the actual science-proven phenomena of changing your brain chemistry, changing the automatic programs in your brain. Epigenetics, that refers to the gene expression. Only 5% of your genes, your DNA, are hardwired. The other 95% are open to interpretation. And it's all based on our hormones, our environment, our daily activities, the foods we eat, the actions we take, and the feelings we feel and the thoughts we think. That determines how our genes show up. So theoretically, some of us have turned off our skinny genes and turned on our obesity gene. And we continue to keep those genes repeating. Now, it's more than intermittent hormone shifting. I wish I could tell you that that's all you'll ever need to do. You have to also balance your emotional hormones. And when you put them all together, you have a hormonal shift, you have a lifestyle shift, things change. All right. You have the intention to lose weight. And if I'm right about you, you had that intention years ago. But somehow you didn't get right to the outcome because you said, I'm going to lose weight. You started thinking about losing weight. You started feeling like it. You started dieting and working out, eating better. You took the actions, but somehow you didn't get to the outcome you wanted. Why don't we get to go straight from the intention to the outcome just by taking the actions? Because lots of us have goals. We want to do it, but we don't achieve it. Why is that? What stops us? It is what I was showing you here, these default behaviors, beliefs, and programs. They're unconscious and they were wired in early on in life. And when those are there, they actually go against what we want. They will push against our default beliefs, our default behaviors, our default feelings. They push against our actions. And there we are again, starting at the beginning with this intention to be healthy and lose weight, but still not reaching the outcome. I hear so many people say, no matter what I try, I can't lose weight. I've tried everything, nothing works. I don't know. I guess it's just the way it is. These are old default beliefs, behaviors, and feelings. And here is the tricky part. They are so familiar and they've been around for so long for you that you don't even know they're there anymore. They are part of your subconscious. They are automatic and they are holding you back from a hormonal level as well as an action level. Now, I know that this is more than just simple intermittent hormone shifting, eating healthy foods, exercising, getting sleep, getting water. This is happening at a very deep subconscious level, but it's part of the connection that puts them all together. Now, in order to do these things, you'll have to learn to do this. So I am going to teach you right now what happens and what you can do about it. This is how I coach my top tier clients, and I'm going to coach you just like you're one of them right now. So something happens. You feel the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, the shame, the guilt, or you're in some talk with some lady or some guy, and they're just blah, 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 and it's going nowhere, and they're just saying the same thing again and again. Or you're frustrated with yourself because you fell short somehow. Or you're distracted and you just can't pay attention. Or you're repeating the same thing again and again. Or maybe you think you're right no matter what. This is a trigger. You have your old default programs. Now, default programs, some of them are great. Like you have a program in your brain to brush your teeth. That's why you don't have to think about it. Just brush your teeth, it happens. Washing the dishes, don't have to think about it. You programmed it. Making your bed. But we have lots of programs that don't help us. And at some point in life, they kept us safe. They made us feel like, well, if we had a tough childhood, we had a time where people were making fun of us, making us feel bad about something, if we were scared of not being loved or having love, there's so many programs. But here's the punchline. Every single person has them. And they exist in what's called your default mode network. These are subconscious programs that exist in your brain. And some of them are thinking ones. And that's just the way it is. It's just the way I am. I'd never do that. I'm not capable. I'm not worthy. And you don't say it consciously. It's just this underlying program that exists that's releasing hormones that are the opposite of what you want. I always mess up. Nothing works. And here's what happens. We have the same reactions. The trigger happens, we have the same reaction. And sometimes your spouse will trigger you, your body, your job, an unwanted change. And then sometimes we'll use ignorance is bliss. It's called aversion. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear it. I just rather just keep doing what I'm doing. We fear the unknown, or my way or the highway. These are programs that keep us stuck. So here's where we go back to one of my favorite slides. We realize that we have a creative intelligence beyond our programs. It's always been there, that we can tap back into it anytime. So when we remember that we have this creative intelligence, here's what we do differently. Conscious awareness. Instead of being self-conscious, we become self-aware. Instead of passively, automatically reacting, we consciously create. And here's how you do it. First thing is you realize you must create space to return to your emotional balance set point. So you're paying attention with awareness to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're about to do. Your objective is to return to your balance set point. So that's clarity that comes with calm. Instead of going to a fight or flight, instead of getting really mad or angry or frustrated and just doing the automatic thing you always do or feeling the automatic feelings, you create space. And when you do this, you activate your creative intelligence. Here's how you do it. You take a deep breath to create space, and your breathing is one of the few powers that what's an amazing power that will stimulate your vagus nerve and calm down the emotions and the automatic reactions that have been hardwired. And when you create space and a new solution arises, you can have a new response and you can start reprogramming your default network. Stress eating is a big one. Always feeling stressed and rushing is another one. Ladies, this all has a hormonal impact. But we can't just say stress less. We have to have a course of action. So here's what you do. First, you realize your default network is going to be working against you. Because all those programs, at some point in our lives, they kept us safe. They kept us alive. They made us feel like we were going to be more likely to succeed and stay alive if we did them. But now they don't help us. And these are default thoughts, default emotions, default behaviors. They resist change. They want to keep you safe, and they don't know any better. They're programmed into your subconscious. They're not who you are. They're not your authentic health. So when you catch yourself acting out of an old program, responding in anger, getting frustrated, rushing, reaching for food for stress or emotional eating, when you catch yourself doing it, pause and create space. 4, 7, 8 breath. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold it for 7. Release it for 8. That will stimulate your vagus nerve, and it will calm down your sympathetic nervous system, and it will reduce the fight or flight emotions. Then you let that default feeling or thought or action you're about to do flow away. And then direct your attention to the center of your chest. Wait, and a new response will arrive. Your intuition will tell you the best way to handle it. Now, if a response doesn't arrive, get out of the situation. Don't react. And just getting out of the situation is overriding your default reaction. Either way, you get immediate results. But you have to create space for this to happen. And I will not try to fool you. This is not easy. This is a workout. This is how you rewire your old programs. This is how you stop doing the same things and feeling the same way again and again. This is a workout, and you're training your mind to align with your creative intelligence. And the good news is it has long-term benefits. You start rewiring your default network, and you're healing your hormones the whole time because it gets the emotional stress hormones way out of the equation. So doing these steps will stop the old feelings, thoughts, and reactions from holding you back. And if this feels really advanced, I apologize because I know we just met, but I want to make it clear that unless you handle the emotional hormones, just focusing on the metabolism hormones will eventually not be enough. All right. I'm going to get nerdy, so bear with me. You have something in your body called your HPA axis, and it's your adrenal gland, your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, combined with your brain upstairs and your gut microbiome brain. It controls all your hormones. It's the control center, it's a hormone control center of your whole entire body. So when we align your HPA axis, we're aligning your hormones. But your hypothalamus, your adrenal glands, these are all involved in your emotions and stress. Your pituitary gland, all of it works together. That's why aligning your actions, reactions, thoughts, and feelings with your intention to return to your authentic health is so very important. It took a while to get where you are. It will take a while to get you back to your authentic health. But the truth is, you will return to your authentic health, your true hormone alignment, if you do the steps to align your hormones. Because when you align your hormones, you're aligning all the other balances, set points of your body. They all work together. So start healing your gut microbiome with the morning ritual. Easy. Time strategic eating to heal your hormones. This is different for every person. Doing a 16-8 or an 18-6 or not eating for a day, then eating the next day, it won't work. You have to do it in a way that matches your current metabolism set point and go from there. But when you do it right, you can heal your hormones without feeling hungry. And here's how you start. Eat like an adult, don't stuff, don't starve, and prioritize protein. And eat like an adult means eating foods that align with your intention, healthy hormone foods. Protein is so important. Here's the thing about cells. Every cell in your body, the two most important things, because every cell has DNA and every cell has protein. DNA needs protein to exist. Yet DNA is what tells your body to create protein. DNA and protein are how your genes show up and every cell is created. So protein is vital, not just for weight loss, but for your hormones to balance. So I will also say, eat like an adult. Food is a 4-letter F word. Not that one, Karen. Not the one that ends with a K. It's a 4-letter F word, though. And it's an F word. I'm going to ask you to use food as fuel or as for medicine. And be aware if you're eating food for fun, for flavor, for festivities, for friends, for family, or for feelings. When you decide to use food as medicine, to use food as fuel, and to eat in that way, you will heal your hormones. I don't have any of my clients count calories. I don't have any detailed things they must or must not eat. I give them the priorities and the foods and the meal plans that will work with them. But they can eat whatever they want. They can eat whenever they want. But they eventually start making the decisions that work for them. And some of them just say, tell me the best thing to do and I'll do it. And I tell them and they do it. Others, they want to have some beers on the weekend. They want to have a glass of wine at night. They want to eat different things. It eventually works for everyone, but everyone's different, because the only plan that will work for anyone is the one you can stick with and match your lifestyle. So first you heal your hormones, you turn the fat burners back on, and then you start adding back in all the foods that the brownies, the cupcakes, the sugars, the stuff that you normally wouldn't eat because it spikes insulin, you add them back in. And the truth is, there are so many things you can do besides what I just shared with you. But what do you need first, second, third? What's gonna matter the most to you so you don't plateau or get stuck? It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different for Brenda. It's gonna be different for Karen. It's gonna be different for Paula. And hopefully you're a little excited because it's completely possible, but you might be a little overwhelmed because I tend to give a lot of information. And maybe you're ready for a breakthrough. Maybe you are ready to stop just trying things that don't work, feeling frustrated because nothing's worked. Maybe you are ready to break through that barrier. And if so, you have a decision to make. Do it on your own. Do nothing. Get some more, find someone else, get some more information from them. Just keep collecting information. A lot of people do that. Or I'm going to offer you a very special opportunity to work with me and get guaranteed results. Because I know that if we focus on the right things and you are willing to make some lifestyle shifts, we will get results. Because I've seen it, the science doesn't lie, and I've done it with hundreds of women already. Even if you're like Jennifer, who said, there's no way, I'm too old and I'm going on vacation. And I said, you can still do it. There's spots open. If you really want to, I can help. And she said, fine, I'll try. And she followed the intermittent hormone shifting. She identified the old default programs that were holding her back. She did them together. And not only did she go on vacation, she actually lost some weight when she was on vacation and ate whatever she wanted. She called me Coach Tim instead of Coach Tom. That was kind of funny. But in any case, this will work for anyone who's willing to prioritize hormone health and lifestyle shifts instead of trying to do it with pills, potions, patches, prescriptions, pellets, and injections, or the old dieting and exercise. Yes, you should eat well, but eat like an adult, and you need muscle mass to be your authentic health, but everyone needs a different amount. But just prioritizing your hormones, making that shift, changes everything. So I'm inviting you, if you are on here right now, to join me for 90 days. In 90 days, you may not get down to your goal weight because that's not what it's about. In 90 days, I will show you how well this can work for you if you have someone guiding you every step of the way. And if you want to keep working with me after that, awesome. If not, no problem. But if we don't achieve the weight loss we agreed to in 90 days and the belly fat loss we agreed to, then I'm going to keep coaching you until you do, which basically means you will not fail. Now, this is definitely not a free program because I'll be working with you one-on-one, and that means there's only 3 spots left because one-on-one attention means every day I'm checking on you, every day you're reporting on the habits we have and the shifts we're making. And it starts with a one-on-one private coaching session where I will take all of your information before the session and I'll map out a game plan and I'll show you frameworks I've used with other people in similar situations. But more importantly, I'll show you the success roadmap for you. And if you like it and you feel like this is something you want to change in your life and I know that I can help you, then we will make a plan to join forces for 90 days and you will start solving your problem once and for all. This is going to include the 1-hour breakthrough call. You're reserving your spot. So it costs $99 to reserve your spot and to do the 1-hour coaching session, but it's fully refundable. If you say, I don't want to do it and I didn't get any value out of this, I'll give it back to you. no problem. But if you decide to do the 90-day challenge, your $99 gets applied to that. So you have nothing to lose except the belly fat. And to make it a no-brainer, I am throwing in my starter course. This is a full-on digital course. Only you get your own access code. You get to get in it. You can chat with me in the course. And it's going to tell you how to start doing intermittent hormone shifting. It's going to give you workouts for every week. It's 4 weeks worth of workouts. And basically there's videos, instructions, worksheets to do with everything. It's way better than the free stuff because it's your own digital course. You can log into anywhere. Comes with workouts, comes with check-ins, but the course is just a bonus. The benefit is going to be the breakthrough session. And Deb did the 90-day. I'm going to meet with her again today. She's now one of my breakthrough mentors. She's lost all the weight. She's completely functional. She's in her late 60s, I believe. She's definitely over 60, but I don't think she's quite 70. In any case, she had given up on losing the belly fat and she lost it. She has a whole nother level of confidence now by her flex, her cute dress, and she knows how to do this on her own. When you learn to do this on your own, everything changes. So I am going to give you this link if you want to take one of the last spots, and you will pay the $99 to reserve your spot, which is fully refundable. Schedule your breakthrough session, and right away you're going to get the course as a bonus. And no matter if you sign up or not, you get to keep the course forever. So you truly have nothing to lose except the belly fat. And there's only 3 spots left because I can only take a certain amount of clients at a time. Because even though it's 90 days, I'm treating you like a client. Because here's a hint. If you don't lose the weight in 90 days, I will keep coaching you for free. But when you do,